Hello, everybody. This is Dee from Dee's Cute and Crafty, and I'm back with 3 more brand new decor pieces for you today. This one is for everyone who had questions about how I cut out my MDF. So I start with the Dollar Tree board, any old kind you want, doesn't matter. And I draw on whatever it is that I want to cut out. In this case, we're going to redo the bumblebee. You guys seem to love that one. You had a lot of questions about it. So I thought I would redo it and just make it into a different kind of sign. So I'm showing you all the things that I'm going to be using, and most of the things that you see came from Dollar Tree. So I drew out the shape of my bumblebee, the body, the head, and the wings, and I'm just scoring that MDF so I can cut it in half. And now I'm going to score it again about 3 times, and it snaps right in half. Now I take my wire cutters and I just nip away at the shape that I want to cut out. I just carefully just nip, nip, nip until I get it all cut out. And it is a very rough cut. We're going to go back in with the X-Acto knife and smooth everything out. Be careful when you're cutting it, because if you get too close, you're going to run the risk of cracking that MDF. So then I take my X-Acto and I just trim it all up, making everything nice and smooth. To smooth it down even further, I'm going to go in with my hand sander, my Gator from Walmart, and I'm just going to sand all the rough edges away. And this is how I make my shapes with the MDF board. Very simple. So continuing on with this butterfly, I'm just going to trace the other wing and get that cut out. Then I'm going to take this Dollar Tree tile that I love to use because it adds dimension and texture, and I just love the look of it. We're going to trace those wings out and then get them cut out. Going to take some hot glue and attach that faux tile to the wings. Thank you to everybody who has joined Dee's Cute and Crafty. Thank you and welcome to the channel. I'm so blessed and grateful to have you here. And thank you to all of my subscribers that have been with me from the beginning. Thank you guys so much for clicking on the video. Thank you for coming back. You are greatly appreciated, and I love you so much. So now that I've got everything all glued down, I'm going to go in with my Hello Hobby Desert Tan, and I'm going to give this faux tile 2 coats of that paint. Now I'm going in with the dry brush effect using the Folk Art in the color Nutmeg. And I'm just going to dry brush those raised areas to give it more dimension, make it pop, make it stand out a little bit more. You guys know I love my masking tape, so I'm just going to tape off this body of the bee so I can go in with my Folk Art Brown nutmeg paint that I just used for the dry brush. I was thinking of using black, but I used black in my last DIY on my bumblebees when I did those. So I'm going to do yellow, or yellow. I said yellow because I'm looking at it. I'm going to do brown. And bumblebees are brown and yellow, correct? And yellow jackets, the big furry ones, are black and yellow. Comment down below if that's true, because I kind of think bumblebees are brown and yellow. Anyway, now that I've got all that done, I sanded around the edges of the body and the head just to distress it, make it look old, because I love doing that. And I'm just hot gluing everything down. I'm taking my black Chanel stem because I didn't have any brown ones and I don't have any yellow ones. And so I'm going to use those to make the antenna like I did in the other video. And I'm just going to hot glue those down. Now, this is the first part of this DIY. There is a second part. This one is going to be a door hanger or a sign. So we have to make that part of the DIY coming up next, after I make the bow. I'm going to make a messy bow, you guys, using different kinds of ribbon. You see me make a messy bow before. They're super easy to do, and I think they're cute for this bumblebee. Just stacking them in an X formation. I'm going to tie it off in the middle with some jute cord, and then I'll trim it up the way I need to so that it shows up the way I want it to. It's not going to be too long or too short. So I'm going to trim it up just a little bit because it is too long right now. I don't want it to be bigger than the actual bumblebee, so I had to cut it down a little bit and just hot glue it into place, adding some of the yellow forsythia in the center of the messy bow. And this part of the DIY is complete. Now let's make the sign. So I've got some craft paper from Hobby Lobby. I have the bumblebee paper and I also have the sunflower paper. I have 3 pieces, rectangular shapes of leftover scrap MDF, and I'm just going to use my Dollar Tree glue stick and I'm going to glue the paper to the MDF. And now I'm just going to take my Sharpie after writing in pencil first. Be safe, be kind, be blessed. And I'm just going to go over it with my Sharpie marker so that it stands out so you can read it. And now I'm going to take some of the jute cord from Dollar Tree. No, actually, this one's from Walmart. It's a little bit thicker. So I'm going to use the jute cord from Walmart. I'm just going to line those little sign pieces up and hot glue that cord down. And then I'm going to take that and hot glue it to the bottom of the bumblebee. I'll add a jute hanger in the back, and this one is ready to be displayed. Here it is, you guys. This one came out so cute. I absolutely love it, but is it my favorite of the 3 that I'm showing you today? Nope, it is not. If you want to know which one is my favorite, you're going to have to keep watching. But as always, comment down below. Let me know which one is your favorite of the 3 that I'm bringing to you today. I hope this helped you guys. I hope it answered your questions on how I cut my MDF shapes just using my tools that I have at hand. Nothing electric or anything like that. Just good old brute force. Moving on to DIY number 2, I have the Polypro mesh ribbon from Hobby Lobby in yellow and this brown color with some gold running through it. And I have some burlap from Walmart in brown and green, 8-inch wreath form from Dollar Tree, this bumblebee plate from Joann's, Chanel stems from my stash, ribbon from Dollar Tree. Nope, the ribbon is from Joann's and Hobby Lobby. So I've already cut all of my deco mesh and burlap, and I cut it in about 6-inch pieces, and I am going to fold it down first. I want to fold that rough end down first, and then make my little point like how I used to make paper airplanes. Add a dab of hot glue, pinch it at the bottom, and then just form it to this petal. I'll show you again, folding down that rough edge that I cut, and then putting it together like a paper airplane to make my flower point, adding a dab of glue, and then pinching the tail together, and then just forming it to give it that little cup petal shape. And with the burlap, I don't have to fold it down if I use the sewn edge from the factory. I will just fold it like making a paper airplane to make that point. And then I'm going to roll my edges, my raw edges. I'm going to roll them towards each other so that I don't have raw edges anymore. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to cup it, shape it to give it that point. And I'm going to take all 3 of these pieces, all 3 of these petals, and I'm going to wire them together with the Chanel stem. And I have 36 of these 3-point petals. Now I'm just going to wire them all to this 8-inch wreath form. I love how this one turned out, you guys. It is my absolute hands down favorite of the 3 that I'm showing you today. It came out so full with dimension, and it's just really pretty. And I was so pleased with myself for figuring out how to get rid of those raw edges so that it won't fray, because you know that deco mesh frays like the dickens. I mean, like crazy. And I was so proud of myself for just trying to figure out how I could make this and not have it fraying all over the place. So I just folded my rough edges in and it just worked out so nicely. So I started out with 18 of the 3-point petals and realized quickly that that wasn't going to be enough. So here you see me just cutting out some more. And that rotary tool from Dollar Tree is really good. I like it. I couldn't find my Fiskars, so I just used that one and it's great. So now I'm just making some more of my 3-point petals. That's what I'm calling them. And I'm just using my chenille stem to put those 3 together and then attach it to the wreath form. And you guys, you're going to have to cut out all those tails in the middle. I should have cut them as I placed them so I didn't have to cut them all at the end, but it's fine either way. You can cut them as you go or cut them at the end when you're done. But I love this. I've never made a sunflower before with Deco mesh, and I love it. So now that I've got that all done, I'm just going to cover up my chenille stems and also give my plate a place to sit. Trying to hot glue it to the chenille stem wasn't going to work. So I added the nautical cord and I went around 3 times, and that's going to be a nice place for the plate to sit. I'm using some of this felt from the Dollar Tree. It comes 8 in a pack, and I love this stuff. This is nice. It's a little bit thin, but I still think it's good for the price point. I cut this one too small, so I had to go back in and cut another one, which is fine. So now I'm just going to hot glue that to the back. And you guys, do not hot glue your felt on the back just yet. Don't do what I did. I should have put my bow on and I should have put my leaves on before hot gluing the backing on there. So yeah, I'm gonna have to punch a hole through that. You'll see. I was just so excited. I got so excited about this DIY, how it was coming together and how I figured out those petals, and oh, I was excited. What I want to get my hands on is some of the I think it's called Polypro Deco mesh burlap or something like that, because I think that it is more sturdy. I think that it doesn't fray as much. Um, I've been seeing it on Pinterest and YouTube, and you have to order it. You can't just buy it, I guess. And some people were cutting it using a wood burner. I probably would just use my scissors just because I don't want to deal with the fumes of the wood burner. But again, I was proud of myself for figuring out how to use the Deco mesh and not have frayed ends. So proud. You guys, let me know what you think about this wreath because I think it is all that. I love it. So I'm just making my bow. You guys know how I do it. I make my loops, I make my tails, I stack everything together, I tie it off with some jute cord, and then I start fluffing. Over to the side, you see my little green burlap. And I just took 2 petals because that was all I had. I didn't have a lot of burlap left in that green. And I just made 2 petals, and those will act as my leaves for the sunflower. Just fluffing it all out. You guys, thank you so much. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to everyone who's enjoying my content. You guys, I'm just overwhelmed. I'm just so happy that you guys like my content and that you show up every time I put something out there. You guys are quick to click on it and comment. I just love you so much. Welcome to all my new subscribers. Happy and blessed to have you here. And thank you to everyone who clicked on that's been with me for a while. Thank you for coming back. If I didn't tell you, or if I told you, I'm telling you again, thank you. I really appreciate you. So here you see me struggling with those leaves because I didn't leave a place to put them. I should have put them on first before making the backing, before covering that up, but I just punched a hole through it and kept on going. And I'm just fluffing around with those leaves, getting them the way I want them. And now I'm going to place my bow. And normally I would tie that on, but I didn't leave myself anywhere to tie it, so I'm going to use a ton of hot glue and glue it on. And the tails are kind of covering up the words. It says, as sweet. Anyway, the tails are covering up the words. It says, as sweet as honey. So I just added a dab of glue and I just glued the tails down to where I wanted them so that you could read what the sunflower says. I love this one. I absolutely think it is gorgeous. For my first time making a sunflower, I'm happy. I'm happy with it. Moving on to DIY number 3, I have my markers, some buffalo check ribbon from Dollar Tree. My markers came from Walmart. I have the bumblebees from Hobby Lobby, the sunflowers, Hobby Lobby. I've got my yellow bumblebee paint that I mixed up, and I have this honeycomb kind of sign from Dollar Tree. It says beauty doesn't wash away, I think. Or no, it says beauty doesn't rinse off. That's what it says. So I am going to take my watercolor markers and just color this in. Just going to fill in the greenery, and I did the little flowers in yellow, and then I took my yellow paint and I did the outline of the little honeycomb pieces. And now I'm going to rough them up, make them look distressed by sanding down some of that black paint. And I'm just going to go in and embellish this. This is really simple. Took all of maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes, if that, to put this together. Just going to add 3 of the little sunflowers, 1 of the bumblebees, and I'm going to make a little bow. I was going to put beads on the bottom to have it stand because it was freestanding when I started. But when I put the bumblebee at the bottom, I kind of hung it down low. So then that made the sign not stand up evenly. So it kept falling over because the little wing of the bumblebee was making it uneven because of how I hot glued it. So I put some beads on the bottom to give it some lift so that the bumblebee wasn't touching the bottom and causing it to be wobbly. But the beads didn't work out. It still was wobbly. It didn't want to stand up. So I added a tumbling tower block to the little honeycombs at the bottom and painted them black, and it stands up just fine. It's a nice tabletop decor piece, quick and easy, and I love how it turned out. And here it is, all finished. I love it. I love the watercolor look of the greenery. And I think it was simple and very easy to do. And just a nice little tabletop piece that goes along with your bee decor. If you're into bee decor, this would be cute. Beauty doesn't rinse off. That would be cute in a bathroom. So here's everything that I've made for you guys today. I told you you were going to want to stick around. You wouldn't want to miss it because I truly feel like I've covered everything. I've gone over my MDF and how I cut it. I brought you guys something new. I've never done a sunflower before, and I love how it turned out. And I gave you a little one as a tabletop decor piece that was really very simple. So I think I covered all my bases, you guys. Let me know how I did. I love these. I hope you guys do too. Once again, thank you for being here. None of this is possible without you. If you don't watch, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I'm here if nobody's watching. So I appreciate you and I thank you for being here. I truly, really do. As always, you guys, be blessed. Stay safe. Craft something beautiful today. I'll see you in the next one.